when you start a business, okay, it's you with how much money you have? All, zero. And because of that, you wear 17 hats. Okay? And then what you do as you grow is you take a hat off and you give it to somebody else. And sometimes if you're smart, you'll give them three or four hats. Okay? And this is what you're doing. You keep saying, okay, I got to get this hat off here. I got to give it to this person. You build a team. And then if you keep it up, like you guys have been successful, boom, you got money. What people forget once you've done all this effort is you're now in the job of deploying capital for more capital. That is literally the role of an entrepreneur. You're doing it inside your existing business. Somebody comes to you and says, I have an idea. I can spend 5K and I think it'll improve this and save us 50K. Capital for more capital. You're like, cool, that sounds like a good trade. What people forget is when they start the new business is you don't have to go through this again. You literally take the money and you start at the top. And you say, okay, now that, as long as I have a validated model, okay, validated model, okay, that makes me money, now I can hire and build and then let them recruit and grow. So when I started Martell Media 3.5 years, I brought in the media side, his name was Sam, and I brought in the operator, who's essentially the CEO, that's Todd. Okay? And then Dan is way over here, and Dan's a talent. And Dan doesn't get involved. Dan is consulted, so have you ever heard of the RACI matrix? Okay? So RACI stands for responsible, accountable, consulted, and informed. Okay? And what you can do is you can use that. I did it wrong because I should have put it at the top. But essentially, you can list all the things in the business and you can say, hey, I want to be a consultant for these things. I want to be informed about these things. And honestly, I don't even need to be involved in these. Okay? So once you design that with your team up here, then you don't get involved there. This is what I call below the line. I don't go below the line. That's why I don't come up here and talk to everybody, because if I go here and start talking about strategy to the person on the media team, then the person is, and there's like layers here, they're like, hey, what did you say to them? I had them on, they were executing, they were doing it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know. I just thought I was being helpful. And they're like, you're not being helpful because now I had them working on this because I was doing this, this, and this, a sequence. And that is what people forget is if you have money, start at the top. And then buy back your time. And then you stay up here. Because I will tell you, there's a ton of problems to deal with. Right? The problem, like the people up here have to work on the vision, right? They have to work on the people. Do we have the right people in place, right? At this level? And then work through them to make sure those people, I don't know. Do you have the right people? Let's talk about kind of like the XY of the people. Then you need money. That's the financial model. That's making sure as you scale, okay, you don't hit roadblock of cash. Do you know how many times I've been involved in businesses that are doing this and then you double click and you fucking do an audit and you find out they're about to run out of money? Hey, Todd? All the fucking time. All I can tell you, guarantee this will happen. I wish it didn't. I guarantee it'll happen. Then it's just how good are you to solve problems? That's why you gotta stay up here. If you try to build from the bottom over here, that is a slow process. And you're gonna burn yourself out and you're gonna risk this business because this business is generating cash. Being down here makes no sense. You should be up here and then work through the model and let the model self-fund its growth. And it'll force you to make better decisions. Constraints breeds creativity. I love constraints. I love saying this is your P&L, this is what you have as a budget. You guys figure it out. I'm here to collaborate. I'm not gonna do your job. You know, one time, I love telling this story, I tell it all the time, but we just built these built-ins, okay? I'm sitting here, Todd walks by, okay? It's like the first month, he goes, nice fucking shelves. What are you gonna put on them? I looked at Todd. He goes, oh, my job. I go, yeah, bro, this is your office. This is your company. I'm not gonna tell you what to, I don't know what you should put there. I'm the talent. I'm not getting involved. I'm the talent. I don't want to get involved. I get involved in solving problems up here in these conversations, not operationally what goes on a fucking shelf, right? People don't realize that when you get bogged down on that stuff, you don't work on the $10,000 an hour task, $100,000 an hour task.
Yeah, 100%.
If you just do the math, if there's 2,000 hours in a year and you want to sell for 100 million, do you know what that hour's worth? A lot of money. If you're doing $50, $100, $500, $1,000 an hour tasks, you just won't have the space to do the things that are needle movers. Real quick, you've made it to the end. Let me tell you what I know about you. You're not somebody that's looking to do shelf help. You're not somebody that's just doom scrolling on social media. You're here because you want to build a real business, and you're sick and tired of not getting the real insights to grow inside your business. So I want to help you avoid all the pain trying to figure this out the hard way like I did it. That's why I put together everything I've ever learned into the Scale Workbook. It's the internal document that I use with every founder I work with that turns a chaotic business into a money-making machine. And teaching you all of this without burning more hours. It's totally free. The link is in the description, or you can just scan the QR code on the screen because I'm here to help you build your empire.